don't know this, but I actually got sick over there too. I had COVID, and they let me fight. Want me to fight. My mom didn't want me nothing to do with boxing. My father being an amateur fighter back then, he didn't take me serious. He thought since I was a kid that it wouldn't even. I asked him, Dad, can you bring me to the gym? He told me. I feel like when people say you don't live there, you're not from Puerto Rico, that makes no sense. I'm gonna tell you why.
Mi gente, bienvenidos de nuevo a Auténtico Boxing y hoy nos encontramos con un boxeador del área del Bronx, Nueva York, pero que tiene sangre puertorriqueña también. Él es Ofacio Falcón. Ofacio, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity, man. I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, of course, of course. I was impressed in your last fight because I was paying attention to that whole Sanders Sayas versus Patrick Teixeira card, and you were one of the names that was featured in there. And I wanted to start the interview asking you what was your experience with all that Puerto Rican crowd, with all the excitement, because I've been in New York for the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and the people get excited. They go to the weigh-in, they go to the press conference, and they make some noise in the building. How did you feel the crowd that night?
I mean, what can I say? It's in my blood. I'm Puerto Rican too. I
Mm-hmm.
love the excitement, bro. It was a great experience. And when I came out, everybody stood up. Everybody that was in there stood up. I had a lot of people there. I'm from the Bronx, so I was born and raised in New York City. It was a great crowd. I loved it, bro. It was a great experience.
Yeah, and you were smart too because with your whole uniform, with
It
the
was all
flag.
Puerto Rican, all Puerto Rican. Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't miss you that night. And I've been following your career for some time now, but obviously when I have the opportunity to interview you guys, I research your career and all the things that you've done. And I've seen that you have been fighting in different companies with different promotional companies in different even countries. I saw a video that you went to Costa Rica and won there as a guest, let's say. And right now, at this moment, do you like the opportunities that you have had to go to the territories of your opponents too?
Absolutely. I was able to do it earlier in my career. Like people like Devin Haney who went across the country to fight somewhere else. And, it was a great experience, something that I experienced early. So I know when I get under that pressure, that night I was in front of 10,000 Costa Ricans. I fought a Costa Rican fighter in front of all Costa Rican judges and a Costa Rican ref live on the zone. It was an amazing experience. People don't know this, but I actually got sick over there too. I had COVID and they let me fight. Yeah, and it was crazy. It was a crazy experience, bro. But of course, those things build a fighter. And now when I get in front of crowds like New York City, in front of my own people, it doesn't bother me at all. So it was a great experience. I loved it.
Yeah, I think that maybe when you have that kind of challenge, we know that you're sure of yourself, you're confident, but also, there's some doubts. You want to see what's your real potential and everything. And I think that when you go through that experience, you come out a better fighter and even a better person, right?
Absolutely. Ever since that experience, bro, I've only grown from there. I know that I can fight in front of 10,000 people. I don't get stage fright. I love being in front of the crowd. And honestly speaking, I feel like I learned a lot about myself going through things like that. I learned that I perform better when there's a crowd of people, when I have all my fans, or even if people are betting against me. I love it. And that's where, and you know what they say, pressure makes diamonds. So I feel like that was just a great opportunity, experience for me to grow as a young fighter. And it made me who I am today.
Yeah, yeah, of course. And I know that a lot of people, especially from Puerto Rico, are following you now. Since your last fight, have you seen some new fans from the island, some new people that are writing you or something?
Absolutely. I got fans from everywhere. People from the UK is texting me. People from the island of Puerto Rico is texting me. People actually flew down from Puerto Rico to see me, and I met a lot of them there. And I
Mhm.
appreciate all of my fans and supporters that flew from all over the place, Florida, Texas, everywhere. It's all over the world. And I gained so much fan. But actually, the next day I was on the Puerto Rican float, and everybody was loving me on there too. So it was a great experience, bro. I gained so much fans. It was amazing, bro. Amazing people.
Wow, that's amazing. And you're raised in the Bronx, so there's a whole Puerto Rican community there. But also, I know there are Italians and other kind of people in different areas. what do you think that makes the Bronx fighters different? Because I feel like if you see a fighter from the Bronx or from Brooklyn or Newark, which is out of New York, but still it's near, you have like your own style there. How would you describe the style of the people that you knew growing up in the gyms?
I would say we have a style. Well, I wouldn't speak for everybody else, but as for me, growing up here and being raised in the Bronx, I feel like I bring my own style to Puerto Rico. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
When
Yeah.
when I ask people, I ask people, like, for example, my last fight we had it was a fighter meeting, and I was speaking to Timothy Bradley, and he asked me one question that stood in my head. He was like, "What do you see about yourself being a Puerto Rican?" I asked him, I countered him with a question. I was like, "What do you think about when you see when you hear a Puerto Rican fighter? They think about a great left hook. Think about they have an amazing left hook like Tito Trinidad or Miguel Cotto, guys like that. They say flat footed, that narrative they painted. I feel like
Hmm.
I'm a great boxer. I'm a great defensive fighter. I do have a good left hook, but I'm also a great defensive fighter. I have amazing footwork. I have speed, power. I bring a lot of things that are different from those narratives. Growing up in the Bronx, it built me different. I feel like I come from nothing.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say I came from the best background, but I'm not even focused on that. I'm focused on what's in front of me. But it built me as a fighter. It gave me character. You know what I'm saying? It built my character of who I am. I'm tough in there. I'm not worried about nobody else. You can't intimidate me. You can't break me. Like mentally, I'm just a mentally strong person. I feel like that's what I bring into the ring every time I get in there, no matter who's in front of me.
Yeah, yeah. I ask you because there are some boxers that come from cities that don't have that same boxing tradition, but the Bronx is a great boxing community with a lot of history on the sport. Right now, you're in one of the hottest division in boxing. Um, how do you see yourself in that competition? For example, we know that you have a Yerbonta Davis there, a Shakur Stevens on there. In how much time do you think we can see Ofacio Falcon in that level?
I'm not rushing. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the time the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm here for. I love this sport. I enjoy every day of it. It's all I do. I study boxing. I'm actually in the boxing gym right now. I mean,
Yeah.
I just finished training. You know what I'm saying? This is why I am at all times. So I'm not in a rush at all. So I'm gonna take the right correct steps. I'm gonna fight whoever's in front of me, whoever they put in front of me, whatever platform I'm on, and I'm gonna take it step by step. As far as who's in front of me, I ain't worried about them. By the time I get there, I'll be ready for whoever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Devontae Davis at 130 or 135?
Right
It's at
now,
135, right?
35. Yeah, 35.
I fight at 130. At
You're on
130.
130 right now. I thought you
Yes,
were
yes, yes, yes.
lightweight. Okay, but still
Super featherweight.
130. Okay. Well, that division still it's crowded.
It's still
I,
hot, absolutely. It's still hot. Guys got like Shockey Foster, Raymond Ford that just moved up. It has Lamont Roach. It has a lot of great fighters as world
yeah,
champions right now.
Valdez, Navarrete, all those guys are in
Navarrete as well, yes.
yeah, and you're a
Super
young
hot.
guy. Yeah.
It's a super hot division. I'm 24 years old and I'm fighting the way I am now. At
Hmm.
this pace, eventually I'll be where they are. But when I'm there, like I said, I'll be ready.
Yeah, yeah, because you're young, you can still grow and everything. But I'm seeing right now that boxing is changing because I think that for some time we had like the same champions dominating, doing their thing. But right now we're seeing different names.
Yes.
Uh, for example, it's not in your exact division, but you have a Keyshawn Davis making noise right now. You have a Shakur Stevenson who have been a champion, but still he is a young guy. So we seen that the times are changing. I think the new generation is getting there. And we see, for example, warriors like Valdez and Navarrete are maybe in the last couple years of their careers, and now it will be your turn and the turn of the guys that are coming up with you. Are you excited? Because I saw an interview and you make like 80 amateur fights from what I understand, and you have 12 bouts, but you've been dreaming with being at this point in your career, I assume, right?
I visualized this since I was a kid. I've always used to watch Mayweather train and how he trains and what it took for him to get there. And um, everything that's happening now, I visualized this 1,000 times. So where I am now is where I'm supposed to be, and I'm ready for every moment that comes with it. I've seen this years ago. So it was a dream as a kid when I was speaking to people, telling people what I'm gonna be. And it was almost as if, oh, he's crazy, he's just a kid. You know what I'm saying? Being a kid. But now it's coming to reality, and those same people's like, yo, you spoke about this years ago. So anybody out there that really knows me and has spoke to me as a kid, I've been knew I was gonna get here. I knew I was gonna get here. I visualized every moment of it. So these things are just things that going back to the question earlier, how do I feel fighting in front of those crowds? I'm at my home. I'm comfortable. This is
Mhm.
where I belong. I visualize me being in there 1,000 times, fighting people, beating them up in front of everybody there that loves me, all the people that don't want to see me win. It comes with the game, but I loved every moment of it, bro.
Yeah, and do you prefer like being home or a guest, let's say, in the home of your opponent? What do you enjoy more?
Either or. I like people against me. It makes me. I'm a very competitive person. So when people's coming to me like, "Oh, I think you're gonna lose," I'm like, "Oh yeah, let's see. Come on, bring whatever you got." I'm that type of guy. I'm very competitive, whether it's in video games or anything I do in life. So
Mhm.
I love whether it's in their home or my home. Of course. I mean, of course, if I could be in my own home, why not? I love fighting in front of other people. But when people are against you, it's a different animosity they bring. It's a different competition they bring out of me. So either way, I love them both.
Yeah, and it's great that your home is in New York City because it's a so full of story city. You know, Miguel Cotto made the Madison Square Garden his home for some great fights, and you got some history there. Right
Yeah,
now, Ofacio, the boxing in Puerto Rico, it's still growing, but we've had some hard losses recently because we lost with Manny Rodriguez and Subriel Matias. But right now, I think that your generation of fighters, maybe fighters that wasn't born or raised in Puerto Rico, but still represents us. Do you feel like you can be one of those names that even if you don't live here, you can carry out that flag and represent us too?
absolutely. In life, I feel like when people say you don't live there, you're not from Puerto Rico, that makes no sense. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm from the Bronx, but my goal is to move out. You're from
Mhm.
anybody's from Puerto Rico, their goal is, to live somewhere else. Like I want to travel the world. That's one of my personal goals. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
Ultimately, ultimately, it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what I'm representing, where my heart is. My heart's over there. And I guarantee you, and I can promise you, so go back to that question you asked me a second ago. Do I believe I'm the next one? Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. That's amazing
All I
because
need is my fans from Puerto Rico to support me. That's all I need. I promise you guys we gonna turn up soon. Once again.
yeah, of course. That's one of the reasons that I wanted to interview you because I want to, I don't have the biggest base, but I can, show some fans your career and what you've done because I think that it's necessary. Now, Ofasio, are you with a specific promoter or are you a free agent? How are you managing that?
Right now I just got a manager, he's Go Management. Noman Ali, that's my manager. But as of right now, no, I'm not being promoted by anybody. I've just been fighting on every platform.
Mm-hmm.
Looking for the right promotion to settle down with. And I'm just, taking it step by step. Whatever they give me, whatever fight they give me, I've been taking it, beating the guy, and just, keep on taking opportunities. So no, I'm not stuck with anybody yet.
Yeah, I think it's good for your career too because you're young. You can explore your options and get your name out there on different platforms because sometimes the ones that see that song maybe doesn't see ESPN or something. So it's good to have your name in different platforms.
That was the image I painted in my head. I could get on every platform, get my name out there every way. I'm known in every platform. Now I can settle down with somebody eventually. So that's my goal as well. I'm on ESPN now. I fought on Golden Boy. I fought on The Zone. I fought on Telemundo. So most of the big platforms. And now eventually, one of these guys is gonna send me the right offer, and I'm like, you know what, hey, I'm here.
Mhm. I saw in the same interview that I was seeing, I saw that your father was a boxer too.
Yes.
And when you started boxing and taking it seriously, they were supporting they support you from the get-go because I know that for some fighters the parents doesn't want them to compete or don't want them to be in the ring, maybe just to do exercise, but they don't want their sons to compete. Were you supported in that way from the get-go?
At first, they didn't want to train me. At first, they didn't want me to fight. My mom didn't want me nothing to do with boxing. My father, being an amateur fighter back then, he didn't take me serious. He thought since I was a kid, that it wouldn't even. I asked him, Dad, can you bring me to the gym? He told me no, and I told him, you know what? I'm gonna figure out how to get there. I was like a 13-year-old kid, very young, And he
Mhm.
was like, you know what? One day he brought me to the gym. I ended up sparring. I did great. And ever since then, he kept me in the gym.
I saw too that you work at a boxing gym, right?
Yes, actually, I train clients every now and then.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I
That.
love boxing. I love
Mhm.
boxing. So I'd rather be in the gym than be in the street. There's nothing there for you. I'm a big believer in that. So why not just stay in the gym, take clients, make money while I'm doing what I love as well. So I'm always practicing on myself, and then another client comes and boom, we'll train them or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's cool.
That's cool. You know what? That's what I love the most about boxing because you don't have to be a boxer to have a positive result from the sport. I know some guys that they were amateur boxers and right now they're not boxing, but still they get out of the street and they do the things right thanks to the sport.
Absolutely. And I feel like this is the right, I belong in the gym. I'd rather stay here. And I feel like that's why you guys been seeing me perform at every fight. You see me perform at a newer and newer level, a higher and higher level. Only because I'm constantly working on my craft in the gym. I love boxing. So you know what they say, do what you love, and that's exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. I think it's the best way, and I like to see that you are a hungry young man in the sport because some people doesn't love it like that, and they maybe have the potential, but they don't get to the top level because they don't have the love for the craft.
No, yeah, I love boxing. And like I told you earlier, everybody that's watching in Puerto Rico, stay tuned. I'm going to continue representing us, and we're going to get to the top once again. You guys got another Puerto Rican champion, I promise.
Yeah, yeah.
Promise. Actually, if you remember, Miguel Cotto was the last guy to fight at Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, that's right.
I was there. And I remember when I was very young. My mom doesn't even know how to remember that. We have videos to this day. And let me tell you something, bro. It's one of my dreams to bring everybody from the Bronx and all around the world to meet me at Puerto Rico to see me fight there. So that's
Wow,
one of
yeah.
my dreams. I want to bring it back. I want to be one of the first guys to do it. And God willing, by then, when it's time to fight for my first world title, it's either at Madison Square Garden or I can bring everybody to Yankee Stadium and we can do it again.
Wow, that's amazing because that's a while ago. I think that was against Judy Foreman, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. Well, I think the Yankee Stadium is perfect for you because it's at the Bronx and you have the Puerto Ricans. It would be an amazing night for you, I think.
No, absolutely. I think it would be an amazing night for everybody. I think I'll make history with along with Miguel Cotto once again, especially when I win a world title there. It's an
Mhm.
amazing thing. I don't know the politics behind it. I don't know how hard it'll be, but I'm sure if I dream hard enough, it'll happen. So I'm here.
Of course, of course. Well, Ofacio, just to wrap this up, I want you to give a message to all the fans, not only from Puerto Rico but from the world, because I've seen your fights. I love your style. I love that you are aggressive, but I like the way you use your legs, you use your movement. You don't get hit that often, so that's good. That's promising for a young career because it means that you can have a longer lifespan in the
For real.
sport. Yeah, so I would like you to send a message to all the fans so that they can follow you and be with you in your journey.
The name of the sport is hit, not get hit. So I make sure every day I practice to make sure that I don't get hit. I take as less damage as possible, but I also put on a great performance for my friends, families, and supporters. So for everybody that's watching out there, well, no matter where you are in this world, my name's Ofacio, the Sniper Falcon Jr. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you for the opportunity once again. And just keep following me, follow me to becoming a world champion. And I'm looking forward to keep on representing you guys. Just follow me on my journey. Follow me on all my social media platforms at Ofacio Falcon Jr., which is OFACIO, Falcon like the bird Jr. And listen, we're here. I promise you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ofacio, and we hope to have you back sometime later. Thank you, champ.
Once again, thank you for the opportunity, brother. Thank you so much. Thank you.